The worst part about family dinners isn't the endless questions about when I'll have a baby. It's the way they all pretend to care while watching me squirm. I'm Kinley, and for the past 6 years, I've been married into the Wolf family, a clan that measures a woman's worth by the contents of her uterus. Tonight's dinner is no different. Blair, my mother-in-law, sits at the head of the table like a queen on her throne, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. "Pass the potatoes, dear," she says to Stephanie, my pregnant sister-in-law, her voice dripping with honey. "You're eating for 2 now, after all." I stab my fork into my chicken, avoiding eye contact. My husband Micah squeezes my knee under the table, but doesn't say a word. He never does. "So, Kinley," Blair's voice cuts through the dinner chatter. "Still no good news to share?" The table falls silent. 8 pairs of eyes turn to me, some curious, others pitying. I feel my cheeks burn. "Not yet, Blair," I manage to say, forcing a smile. "Well," she sighs dramatically, "I suppose some women just aren't meant for motherhood. Stephanie got pregnant right away, didn't you, darling?" Stephanie shifts uncomfortably in her seat. "Mom, maybe we shouldn't—" "Oh, I'm just concerned," Blair interrupts. 6 years is such a long time. Have you considered seeing a specialist, Kinley? Though I suppose at your age—" My fork clatters against the plate. Micah's hand tightens on my knee. A silent plea to keep quiet, to protect his secret, our secret. "I hear acupuncture can help," Fiona, my younger sister-in-law, offers kindly. "My friend tried it." "What Kinley needs is to relax," Blair announces. "Stop focusing so much on your career, dear. Children need a present mother." A few awkward chuckles ripple around the table. Daniel, Stephanie's husband, clears his throat. "How about that game last night?" But Blair isn't finished. "You know, Martin and I had 3 children by the time we were your age. Didn't we, Martin?" Her husband grunts non-committally from behind his wineglass. I push my chair back suddenly, the legs scraping against hardwood. "Excuse me," I mutter. "Bathroom?" In the hallway bathroom, I grip the edges of the sink, staring at my reflection. Behind me, the door opens, and Marley, my best friend who was invited for moral support, slips in. "You okay?" she asks, locking the door. "I have a secret that would shut them all up," I whisper, my knuckles white against the porcelain. One sentence is all it would take to wipe that smug look off Blair's face. "Then say it," Marley urges. "You don't deserve this treatment." I shake my head. "I promised Micah. It would destroy him." "And what about you? How much more destroying can you take?" Before I can answer, there's a knock. "Kinley?" It's Micah. "Mum's serving dessert." I splash water on my face and open the door. Micah looks worried, his brown eyes searching mine. "I'm sorry," he whispers. "You know how she gets." "Do I ever?" I reply, my voice harder than intended. "Your mother's quite the expert on fertility for someone who doesn't know her own son is the reason we can't have children." He flinches. "Please, keep your voice down." "Don't worry," I say, straightening my shoulders. "Your secret's safe." "But I swear, Micah, the next time she shames me in front of everyone, I won't stay quiet. There's only so much humiliation one person can take." We return to the dining room where Blair is serving her famous apple pie. She beams at Stephanie. "I'll have to teach you this recipe, dear. It's a family tradition passed down through generations of wolf mothers." She doesn't offer me a slice. I sit there watching them all eat, laugh, and share knowing looks. They think they know everything about me, the barren wife, the career woman who can't fulfill her primary duty. If they only knew the truth. One day they will. Because I've made a decision. I won't endure another year of this. The next time Blair decides to put me in my place, I'll put her in hers. And God help them all when I do. For now, though, I smile and nod, playing my part in this charade. But inside, something has shifted. The fear and shame are giving way to something else, something harder, colder, and much more dangerous. Let them laugh. Let them whisper. Let Blair have her moment. My time will come. I can't take it any more, Micah says, pacing our bedroom after the dinner. The way she looks at you, treats you. It's killing me. I sit on our bed, watching him unravel. 6 years of secrets and lies weighing heavily on both our shoulders. Then tell her the truth. He stops pacing, his face pale. I can't. You know I can't. The memory of that day at the fertility clinic floods back. The doctor's sympathetic face as she delivered the news. 0 sperm count. No chance of natural conception. Micah's world crumbling around him while I held his hand. We could try donor sperm, the doctor had suggested, but Micah couldn't bear the thought. My mother would never accept it, he'd said. She's obsessed with the wolf bloodline. Now, looking at my husband's tortured expression, I feel that familiar mix of love and frustration. So, instead, you let her torture me? She's my mother, Kinley. And I'm your wife. The words burst out louder than intended. Do you know what it's like, sitting there while she picks me apart, knowing the whole time that you could stop it with just one word? The doorbell rings, saving him from responding. It's Marley, right on time with wine and sympathy. You look like hell, she says, pushing past me into the house. Both of you. We settle in the living room, Marley pouring generous glasses of red. So, what's the latest drama with the mother-in-law from hell? She's hosting a lunch tomorrow, I say, taking a long sip, to plan Stephanie's baby shower. Let me guess, you're invited, but not really welcome. Oh, I'm welcome, I laugh bitterly. Blair needs an audience for her performance. Micah stands abruptly. I need some air. He heads to the backyard, leaving Marley and me alone. You need to stand up to her, Marley says once he's gone. This isn't healthy for either of you. What am I supposed to do? Break my promise to Micah? If he won't protect you, you need to protect yourself. The next day, I arrive at Blair's house for lunch. Stephanie's already there, surrounded by paint swatches and Pinterest printouts. Oh, good, you came, Blair says, as if surprised. We're choosing colours for the nursery. Stephanie has such wonderful taste. Must run in the family. I bite my tongue and sit down. We're thinking sage green, Stephanie says quickly. Gender neutral, you know. Perfect for the next generation of wolves, Blair beams. Speaking of which, Kinley, have you considered adoption, since natural methods aren't working out? My hands clench under the table. We're exploring our options. Blair purses her lips. Well, adoption can be nice, though nothing compares to carrying your own child. Right, Stephanie? Stephanie looks uncomfortable. Mum, maybe we should focus on the shower plans. Of course, darling. Now, for the guest list, my phone buzzes. A text from Micah. How's it going? Before I can respond, Blair clears her throat. No phones during family time, dear. We're planning something important. I slip the phone back into my pocket, catching Stephanie's apologetic glance. As I was saying, Blair continues, the shower will be here next Saturday. Everyone who matters will be there. The emphasis on matters isn't subtle. I've ordered special champagne, she adds, for toasting the first grandchild. First grandchild. The words hit like a physical blow. Under the table, my nails dig into my palms until I feel skin break. Actually, Stephanie speaks up, Daniel and I were thinking something more casual. Nonsense. This is a celebration of family legacy. Speaking of which, Kinley, would you mind helping with the clean-up, since you won't be involved in the more maternal aspects of the planning? I stand up so quickly my chair nearly tips over. Excuse me. In the kitchen, I grip the counter, trying to steady my breathing. My phone buzzes again. Marley this time. Remember, you have the power to end this whenever you want. I stare at the message for a long moment. Through the kitchen door, I hear Blair's voice. Poor thing. She just doesn't understand what real family means. That's when I notice the invitation sample on the counter. In elegant script, it announces, celebrating the arrival of the newest wolf. Something inside me shifts, the same hardening I felt at dinner, but stronger now, crystallizing into determination. My phone buzzes one more time. It's Micah. I'm sorry, I know it's hard. Sorry isn't enough anymore. Not when I can see the future stretching out before me, years of this treatment, this shame, this lie. I walk back into the dining room, my head high. Blair looks up, triumphant smile in place. Everything all right, dear? You look a bit peaked. I'm fine, I say, smiling back. Just thinking about the shower. It's going to be quite the revelation. Sunday morning at church becomes another battlefield. I spot Blair holding court with her friends, their heads bent together like conspirators. As I walk past, their whispers grow louder. Such a shame, one says, and she seemed so promising when Micah first brought her home. I slide into a pew beside Fiona, who gives me a sympathetic smile. Ignore them, she whispers. Mum's friends are worse gossips than she is. Kinley, Blair's voice rings out across the chapel. Come here, dear. Mrs. Peterson was just asking about you. I consider pretending I didn't hear, but that would only make things worse. I approach their circle, plastering on my best fake smile. We were just discussing children, Mrs. Peterson says, patting my arm. Blair tells me you're having difficulties. Did she? I keep my voice steady. How thoughtful of her to share my personal medical information. Blair laughs high and false. Oh, Kinley, don't be sensitive. We're all family here. Mrs. Peterson's daughter knows an excellent fertility specialist. I already have a doctor, thank you. Clearly not a very good one, Blair stage whispers to her friends. They titter in response. Later that afternoon, I'm stress cleaning our kitchen when Micah comes home. He takes one look at my face and sighs. Mum called, said you were rude at church. The plate I'm washing slips from my hands, clattering in the sink. Of course she did. She's just trying to help. Help? I spin around, soap suds flying. She's trying to humiliate me, and you're letting her. I can't. His voice cracks. I can't keep doing this either, Kinley. Maybe we should tell them. My phone rings before I can respond. It's Marley. You'll never believe what I just heard, she says when I answer. Blair's at the country club, telling everyone how you're destroying the family legacy by not providing an heir. I put the phone on speaker so Micah can hear. She's planning something big for the baby shower, Marley continues. Some sort of family tribute. You need to beat her to the punch, Kinley. End this on your terms. Micah's face goes pale. No, please. After I hang up, there's a knock at our door. It's Fiona, looking nervous. I thought you should know, she says, stepping inside. Mum's excluded you from the shower planning committee. She says it would be too painful for you. How considerate, I say dryly. I'm sorry. Fiona touches my arm. What she's doing, it's not right. Some of us can see that. That evening I sit in our home office staring at the fertility clinic paperwork we've accumulated over the years. The diagnosis is right there in black and white, male factor infertility, complete azoospermia. My phone lights up with a text from Blair to the family group chat. Shower meeting tomorrow at 2. Kinley, don't worry about coming. I know these events can be triggering for those struggling with fertility. Several dots appear as family members read the message. No one responds. Another text follows. Stephanie, bring those beautiful ultrasound photos. I want to start the Wolf family album properly. I throw my phone across the room. It hits the wall with a satisfying crack. Micah finds me there an hour later, still staring at the paperwork. I saw Mum's texts, he says quietly. I'm so sorry. Sorry isn't enough anymore. What do you want me to do? Stand up to her, I shout, jumping to my feet. Tell her to stop treating me like I'm defective when you know it's not my fault. I can't, he shouts back. Do you know what it would do to her, to Dad, to everyone? What about what she's doing to me, to us? He slumps against the wall. I don't know how much longer I can take this. That makes 2 of us. My phone buzzes from where it landed. Another group text from Blair. Looking through old baby photos of my children. Such a blessing to pass on our precious genes. Can't wait to do the same with Stephanie's little one. Micah reads it over my shoulder and makes a sound like he's been punched. She's not going to stop, I say quietly. Ever, unless someone makes her. Kinley? No, listen to me. Your mother is destroying our marriage. Every day she chips away at us with her lies and manipulation. And for what? To protect her precious family image. He doesn't respond, but I see the truth in his eyes. He's breaking too. I pick up my cracked phone and text Marley. You're right, it's time to end this. Help me plan something for the shower. Her response is immediate. Finally, don't worry, we'll make it spectacular. I look at Micah, still leaning against the wall. Last chance, either you tell her or I will. He closes his eyes, tears sliding down his cheeks. I can't. Then I'm sorry, I say, and I mean it. But I can't keep quiet anymore. The die is cast. In less than a week, Blair's perfect world will shatter and I'll be the one holding the hammer. The day before the shower, Blair insists on a family crafting session to make decorations. I'm only invited because Stephanie felt guilty and intervened. Now I sit at Blair's dining table, watching everyone make paper flowers and paint signs celebrating motherhood. Careful with the glitter, Kinley, Blair says, eyeing my work. We want these to look professional. They're paper flowers, Blair, for a one-day event. Every detail matters when celebrating new life, she says pointedly, though I suppose you wouldn't understand that. Stephanie drops her scissors with a clatter. Mom, please. What? I'm simply stating facts. Some women are natural mothers and some... Blair gestures vaguely in my direction. Well, Daniel, who's been quiet until now, speaks up. Maybe we should take a break, get some fresh air. Excellent idea, Blair beams. Kinley, why don't you clean up while we step outside, since you're not really contributing anyway? I stand up so quickly my chair tips over. Daniel catches my eye and jerks his head toward the kitchen. I follow him, grateful for the escape. Here, he hands me a glass of water once we're alone. You look like you need something stronger, but this will have to do. Thanks, I mutter. You know, he says carefully, I've been doing some research about fertility issues. My hand freezes halfway to my mouth. Oh, interesting stuff. Did you know that in about half of cases it's actually the man who... Daniel, I cut him off, please don't. He holds up his hands. Just saying, sometimes things aren't as simple as certain people make them seem. Before I can respond, Marley arrives. She's supposed to help with decorations, though we both know she's really here for moral support. What did I miss? She asks, taking in my expression. Just Blair being Blair, I say. We return to the dining room where Blair is showing Stephanie old baby photos. Look at Micah, she coos. Such a perfect baby. Strong genes in our family. Marley squeezes my hand under the table. And here's Stephanie's first ultrasound, Blair continues. Already looks like a true wolf. Such a blessing to carry on the family line. Mother, Fiona warns, but Blair's on a roll. You know, I was talking to my friend Helen yesterday. Her daughter-in-law had fertility problems too, but at least she had the decency to step aside so her husband could find someone more suitable. That's enough, Stephanie stands up, face flushed. This has to stop. Blair looks shocked. Darling, I'm only thinking of the family's best interests. By destroying Micah's marriage? Oh, please, Blair waves her hand. If their marriage is fragile, that's hardly my fault. Some people simply aren't meant to be part of this family. I walk out of the room before anyone can stop me. Marley follows me to the bathroom. Tomorrow, she says firmly, tomorrow we end this. Back in the dining room I hear Blair on the phone, her voice carrying deliberately. Yes, Helen, everything's ready for tomorrow. Finally, a real celebration of motherhood. Not like that sad excuse for a daughter-in-law I got stuck with. There's only one real mother in this family, and it certainly isn't Kinley. Something inside me snaps. I pull out my phone and text Micah. I'm done protecting you. Tomorrow everyone learns the truth. His response comes quickly. Please don't do this. Too late, I type back. You had your chance. Marley reads the exchange over my shoulder. What's the plan? Wait for Blair's big speech about family legacy, then drop the bomb. I have the medical records on my phone, screenshots ready to go. She'll never recover from this, Marley says with satisfaction. That's the point. We return to find Blair arranging tomorrow's seating chart. Oh, Kinley, I'm putting you in the back. Wouldn't want to upset you with all the baby talk. Don't worry about me, Blair, I say sweetly. I'm actually looking forward to tomorrow. I have a feeling it's going to be unforgettable. She narrows her eyes, but before she can respond, Stephanie calls her over to look at more decorations. Daniel appears at my elbow. Whatever you're planning, he whispers, make it count. I look at him sharply, but he just winks and walks away. As I gather my things to leave, I spot a folder on Blair's desk, labelled Family Legacy Photos. Inside, there's a gap in the family tree, a space where my and Micah's children should be. Next to it, Blair has written, Failure to continue bloodline, possible solutions. I take a photo of the page with trembling hands, add it to my evidence folder, and close the door on my way out. Tomorrow, Blair learns what real failure feels like. The night before the shower, Micah paces our bedroom like a caged animal. Please, he begs, don't do this. We can find another way. What other way? I'm sitting at my vanity, rehearsing my speech in my head. We've tried everything else. We could move away, start fresh somewhere. Running won't fix this, I turn to face him. Your mother will still be who she is. The truth will still be what it is. He drops to his knees beside me, grabs my hands. I'll tell her to stop. I'll make her understand. Like you've done for the past 6 years. I pull my hands away. Face it, Micah, you're terrified of her. The doorbell rings. It's Stephanie, looking nervous on our doorstep. Can we talk? She asks. I let her in, noting her red eyes and fidgeting hands. Micah excuses himself to the garage, unable to face either of us. I know what Mom's been doing is wrong, Stephanie blurts out. I should have said something sooner. But you didn't, she winces. No, I didn't. She places a hand on her swollen belly. I was scared. Mom has this way of, when she turns on you... I know exactly how she turns on people, I say coldly. I've been her target for 6 years. That's why I'm here. Stephanie takes a deep breath. Whatever you're planning tomorrow, and I know you're planning something, just be careful. Mum won't take public humiliation well. I laugh, harsh and bitter. And how do you think I've taken public humiliation? All those digs about my fertility, my worth as a woman, my place in the family. I know, she wipes at fresh tears. I'm not defending her. I don't want the family to fall apart. The family's already broken, Stephanie. Your mother broke it. I'm just going to make everyone admit it. After she leaves, Marley calls. Everything's set for tomorrow. You ready? Ready as I'll ever be. Remember, wait for her big toast. That's when she'll be most vulnerable. I hang up and find Micah in our home office staring at old photos. Remember when we first got married? He asks softly. Before all the pressure about babies. You mean before your mother turned me into the family scapegoat? I should have protected you, he whispers. I was just ashamed. Of being infertile or of being too weak to stand up to your mother. He flinches. Both, I guess. I sit beside him, suddenly exhausted. You know, what's funny? I never cared that we couldn't have biological children. I would have been happy adopting, using a donor, whatever. But your mother made it about bloodlines and family legacy until it became this monster. We could still do those things, he says hopefully. Not until the truth comes out. Not until she faces what she's done. My phone buzzes. Another family group text from Blair. Can't wait for tomorrow. Finally, a proper celebration of our family's future. Some people may find it difficult, but real wolves understand the importance of legacy. Micah reads it and puts his head in his hands. She's never going to stop, is she? No, I say quietly. She's not. I go to bed early, but sleep doesn't come. Around midnight, I hear Micah crying in the bathroom, trying to muffle the sound. I don't go to him. I can't be his comfort anymore, not when I need all my strength for tomorrow. Dawn breaks, and I start getting ready. I choose my outfit carefully, an elegant blue dress that makes me look confident, untouchable. I download the medical records to my phone one more time, just to be sure. Micah watches me from the bed. Once you do this, he says, there's no going back. I know. Mum will never forgive you. Good. I apply my lipstick with steady hands, because I'll never forgive her either. The morning sun streams through our windows as I finish getting ready. In a few hours, Blair will stand up to give her toast, probably something about true motherhood and family values. She'll be at her most triumphant, her most self-righteous, and then I'll destroy everything she holds dear. My phone buzzes one last time. Marley. Remember, you're not the villain here. You're just telling the truth. I look at myself in the mirror. The woman staring back isn't the same one who used to cry after family dinners. She's stronger now. Harder. Ready? Micah asks from the doorway, his voice hollow. Almost, I say, and open my phone's gallery. There it is, the photo of Blair's family legacy folder with its cruel notes about my failure. The final piece of evidence. I take a deep breath and grab my purse. Time to go shatter some illusions. Blair's house is decorated like a magazine spread. Pale pink and gold everywhere. Fresh flowers on every surface, and a professional photographer capturing it all. She's really outdone herself this time. Kinley, Blair calls out as I enter. Oh, good, you found the seat I assigned you, in the back by the kitchen door. I ignore the designated place card and sit next to Marley at the main table. Blair's eye twitches, but she's too busy directing the catering staff to make a scene. You look amazing, Marley whispers, like a warrior going into battle. Guests start arriving, family friends, church members, all of Blair's social circle. They fill the room with chatter and expensive perfume, carefully avoiding eye contact with me. Stephanie arrives in a flowing maternity dress, looking nervous. Daniel squeezes my shoulder as he passes, a silent show of support. Everyone, Blair claps her hands, please take your seats. We're about to begin the celebration. I feel Micah tense beside me as his mother takes centre stage, champagne flute in hand. Today, we celebrate not just a baby, Blair begins, but the continuation of a proud family legacy. The Wolf bloodline has always been distinguished by strength, excellence, and, most importantly, fertility. A few awkward chuckles from the crowd. Blair's smile grows sharper. When I had my 3 beautiful children, I knew they would carry on our family traditions. And now my darling Stephanie is proving herself a true wolf woman. Stephanie shifts uncomfortably in her seat. Of course, Blair continues, her eyes finding me, some people struggle with the responsibilities of carrying on a family name. It's not their fault, really. Not everyone is blessed with proper capabilities. Marley's hand finds mine under the table as Blair raises her glass higher. But today isn't about disappointments. Today is about success. About my first grandchild who will carry our pure bloodline into the next generation. The room fills with polite applause. Blair basks in it, adding, and who knows, maybe seeing a real mother in the family will inspire others to try harder. That's it. That's my cue. I stand up, my own champagne glass in hand. The room falls silent. You're right, Blair, I say, my voice carrying clearly across the stunned room. Today is about truth and family legacy. Blair's smile freezes. Kinley, dear, I don't think... In fact, I continue, I have an announcement of my own to make. Sit down, Blair hisses. This is Stephanie's day. Oh, but this concerns Stephanie too. It concerns everyone who's ever wondered why Micah and I don't have children. Micah grabs my wrist. Please, he whispers. I gently pull away. I've kept quiet for 6 years. Endured your cruelty, your public humiliation, your constant implications that I'm somehow defective. The room is dead silent now. Even the photographer has stopped clicking. But you see, Blair, I've been protecting a secret, one that would shatter your precious illusions about bloodlines and legacy. That's enough! Blair slams her glass down. No, it's not nearly enough. I pull out my phone. Would you like to see Micah's medical records? The ones that prove he's completely infertile, that your precious wolf bloodline stops with him? The glass slips from Blair's hand, shattering on the hardwood floor. Several guests gasp. You're lying, Blair whispers. Am I? Shall I pass around the doctor's report, the one that says your son has 0 sperm count, that there's no chance, 0% of him ever fathering a child? Stephanie's hands fly to her mouth. Daniel wraps an arm around her shoulders. Or maybe, I continue, my voice growing stronger, you'd like to see the folder I found yesterday? The one where you wrote about my failure to continue the bloodline? Blair's face has gone ghost white. She turns to Micah. Tell them she's lying. Tell them. But Micah just sits there, head bowed, tears rolling down his cheeks. 6 years, I say into the silence. 6 years of watching you torture me while knowing the truth. 6 years of protecting your precious son while you destroyed me piece by piece. Get out, Blair whispers. Get out of my house. Gladly. But first, I raise my glass. A toast to family legacy, to bloodlines, to the truth you tried so hard to hide. I down my champagne in one gulp and set the glass down with a decisive clink. The room erupts in whispers. Some guests are already gathering their things, eager to escape. Others are openly staring at Blair, then at Micah, then at me. You've ruined everything, Blair says, her voice breaking. No, Blair, you did that all on your own. I turn to leave, but pause at the door. Oh, and one more thing. I quit. Find someone else to be your scapegoat. The last thing I see as I walk out is Fiona starting to slow clap, a satisfied smile on her face. I make it halfway down Blair's driveway before the screaming starts. How dare you? Blair's voice rings out behind me. How dare you humiliate my son like this? I turn to face her, aware of party guests crowding the windows to watch. Your son! What about what you did to me? I was protecting our family name. By destroying mine. Marley appears at my side, car keys in hand. Let's go. No. Blair steps closer, mascara running down her cheeks. You don't get to walk away from this. You promised Micah you'd keep his secret. And you promised to love me like a daughter, I shoot back. Funny how promises work. The front door opens again. Micah stumbles out, looking shell-shocked. Behind him I see Stephanie crying in Daniel's arms while Fiona tries to usher remaining guests toward their cars. You've torn this family apart, Blair sobs, but there's rage beneath the tears. Everything I built, everything I protected, was based on lies, I finish for her, and cruelty. Mom! Micah's voice is barely audible. Stop! 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 Blair whirls on him. You let this happen. You let her destroy us. No, Mother. His voice grows stronger. You destroyed us. Every time you attacked my wife, every time you blamed her for something that was my fault. It's not your fault, Blair insists. We can fix this. There must be treatments, specialists. There aren't, he says. I've known for years. We both have. Then we'll find you someone else. Blair reaches for him. Someone who can give you children. Enough! Micah jerks away from her. I love Kinley. If you can't accept that, if you can't accept us as we are, then maybe we shouldn't be part of this family anymore. Blair staggers back like she's been slapped. You don't mean that. He does, I say quietly. And so do I. Daniel steps forward, still holding Stephanie. Blair, this has to stop. Look what you've done to all of us. What I've done? Blair's voice rises hysterically. I built this family. I protected our legacy. By destroying your son's marriage, Stephanie breaks free from Daniel. By humiliating Kinley at every opportunity. That's not protection, Mum. That's abuse. You too. Blair's eyes narrow. After everything I've done for you, the perfect shower I planned. I never wanted this. Stephanie gestures at the elaborate decorations. Any of it. I just wanted my family to be happy. More guests are leaving now, whispering among themselves. I can already imagine the gossip spreading through their social circle. Well, Blair straightens her spine, trying to salvage her dignity. I suppose now we all know who our real family is and who isn't. Yes, I say clearly. We do. Micah walks down the driveway to stand beside me. After a moment's hesitation, Fiona joins us. Then Daniel and Stephanie. Blair stands alone on her perfect porch, surrounded by her perfect decorations, watching her perfect family choose sides. Martin, she calls out desperately. Martin, come out here and talk sense into your children. But Martin appears in the doorway only to shake his head sadly. No, Blair, I think you've done enough talking for all of us. She crumples then, all her carefully maintained control shattering like her champagne glass. Kinley, Micah touches my arm. Let's go home. Home sounds good, I say, but turn back one last time. Blair. She looks up, mascara-stained face full of hatred. I kept your secret for 6 years because I loved your son more than I loved myself. But I don't love you anymore. I'm not afraid of you anymore, and I will never, ever let you hurt me again. You'll regret this, she hisses. All of you will regret this. But her words have lost their power. I can see it in the way Stephanie straightens her shoulders, in how Fiona rolls her eyes, in Micah's steady grip on my hand. No, I say simply, we won't. We leave Blair standing there, her perfect world in pieces around her feet. Marley drives us home in silence, but as we pull into our driveway, Micah starts to laugh. What's funny? I ask. I just realised she'll have to explain this to everyone at church tomorrow. Good, Marley says fiercely. Let her try to spin this one. Inside our house, Micah pulls me close. I'm sorry, he whispers, for everything, for not being strong enough sooner. You're strong enough now, I tell him. That's what matters. My phone buzzes, messages flooding in from family members. Stephanie, I'm so sorry. I should have stood up to her years ago. Fiona, that was amazing. Daniel, about damn time someone said it. And one from Martin that makes me catch my breath. Thank you for loving my son enough to tell the truth. Maybe now we can all start healing. Blair's perfect world is gone, but maybe, just maybe, we can build something better from the ruins. Something real. The doorbell rings during breakfast. Micah and I exchange glances. We haven't had many visitors since the shower incident. It's just me, Fiona calls through the door, and Stephanie and Daniel. I open the door to find them holding casserole dishes and wine bottles. Family dinner, Stephanie explains. The new kind, without the drama. We gather around our dining table, the one that's been empty since the shower. Fiona pours wine while Daniel serves the food. Have you heard from Mom? Stephanie asks carefully. She's been busy, Fiona snorts, writing lengthy Facebook posts about the importance of family loyalty, while simultaneously disowning half the family, Daniel adds. Micah stares at his plate. Dad called yesterday, said she's redecorating the house, taking down all the photos of me. Us too, Stephanie sighs. Apparently we're all traitors now. Worth it, I say, raising my glass, to freedom from perfect family facades. They clink glasses with me, even Micah. He's different now, lighter somehow, despite everything we've lost. The doorbell rings again. This time it's Martin, looking uncomfortable but determined. "Hope I'm not interrupting," he says. "I brought pie." Micah stands frozen. "Dad?" "Your mother's at her sister's," Martin explains. I thought it was time I chose a side too." He sets the pie on the table and pulls out his phone. "Look what I found in the attic yesterday. It's an old photo of Micah as a child crying because he couldn't catch a baseball. Blair isn't in the picture. She was probably too embarrassed by his failure." "You know what I remember about that day?" Martin asks. "How you got back up and tried again. Not because you were naturally good at it, but because you were brave enough to fail in front of people." Micah's eyes fill with tears. "Dad, I should have been braver too," Martin says. "Should have stopped your mother years ago, but I'm here now." The doorbell rings a third time. We all tense, half expecting Blair, but it's Marley. "Sorry I'm late," she says. "Had to pick something up." She hands Micah and me an envelope. Inside is a brochure for an adoption agency. "I know a couple who use them," she says. "They're having an information session next week, if you're interested." I look at Micah. He squeezes my hand and nods. "We're interested," I say. "Well then," Martin raises his glass, "to new beginnings." "And real family," Fiona adds. "And telling the truth," Stephanie says pointedly. My phone buzzes, a text from Blair. "I hope you're happy with what you've done. You've destroyed everything." I show it to Micah. He takes the phone and types, "No, Mum, we're building something better. You're welcome to join us when you're ready to accept the truth." He hits send before I can stop him. "There," he says. "No more hiding." The response comes quickly. "You'll come crawling back. You need me." "Actually," I say, deleting the message without responding, "we don't." We spend the evening sharing stories, real ones this time, not the sanitized versions Blair preferred. Stories about failure and fear and imperfection. Stories about love that doesn't depend on performance or bloodlines. "You know what's funny?" Stephanie says, rubbing her belly. "I was so scared to tell Mom I want to hyphenate the baby's last name, include Daniel's family too." "The horror," Fiona gasps in mock scandal. "Diluting the precious bloodline." We all laugh, even Martin. "I have an announcement too," Fiona says. "I'm moving in with my girlfriend next month." "Does Mom know?" Micah asks. "Nope, but I'm done hiding too." Martin clears his throat. "Your mother, she means well. She never learned how to love imperfect things." "Good thing we did," I say. Later, after everyone's gone home, Micah and I sit on our porch swing. The adoption brochure lies between us, full of possibilities. "Are we ready for this?" he asks. "For building a family our way, without your mother's approval?" He nods. "I think we're more ready than we've ever been." My phone buzzes one last time. It's Martin. "Thank you for giving me my son back, and for showing us all how to be brave." I show Micah the message. He smiles and pulls me closer. "You know what?" he says. "Mum was right about one thing." "What's that?" "Family legacy is important, but not the way she thinks. We get to choose what legacy we pass on." I think about the adoption brochure, about Fiona's courage, about Stephanie's quiet rebellion, about Martin choosing pie and truth over perfection and lies. "So, what legacy do you want to pass on?" I ask. Micah kisses my forehead. "Love without conditions, truth without fear, family without facades." "Now that," I say, "is a legacy worth building." And for the first time in 6 years, I feel completely, perfectly free.